Hoops on Scoops, boy.
Welcome to Hoops on Scoops. I'm Will Saulsbery.
I'm your man, H.T. Sims.
And this is a first for Hoops on Scoops. We have an actual Billiken great. Sir, please introduce yourself.
To many, I'm Quitman Dillard, but I'm also Dr. Quitman Dillard now, as I do hold a PhD in education. Mm-hmm. I reside in Chicago, Illinois. I'm in my 33rd year. In high school, 17 years as administrator.
Wow.
8 years as assistant principal.
That is awesome. I mean, I love the city of Chicago. I hate the Cubs, but I love the city of Chicago, right? Like, it's one of my favorite places in the world to go. So we have Dr. Dillard here today because you were a standout at SLU in your 2 years you played here in the early 90s. We want to talk about all of that, you know, some of the guys you went head-to-head with. But let's start, like, what made you fall in love with basketball?
What made me fall in love with basketball? It was simple because I had an older brother who was very good at basketball, and Skip Dillard, he played at DePaul. He attended Westinghouse High School. His high school teammates was Aguirre, Eddie Johnson, and they all used to come over my house, come to the house after games, after practices, and they all actually practically lived there. And I just used to just tag along with them and, you know, soak everything up, you know, like a sponge. So going to their games, that really made me fall in love with basketball. And I just couldn't wait for my turn, you know, to grow and to attend Westinghouse, which I did, and wear the same uniform and walk the same halls and played under the same coaches as they did. So it was truly a blessing and an honor to play for Westinghouse High School.
Aguirre and Eddie, I mean, those are just two walking buckets right there. I mean,
absolutely.
Eddie, no one talks about Eddie Johnson either. And they just talk about pure scorers of the 80s. I could watch that guy shoot all day.
Beautiful jump shot 8, as they call him. That's his Twitter handle.
Okay. All right. We got to follow him. So follow Mr. Eddie Johnson on Twitter. And so you grew up there. And then one thing I always want to know, my favorite player when I was growing up, I absolutely loved Scottie Pippen and I loved Larry Bird when I was younger. Who was your favorite player when you were a kid?
My favorite player when I was a kid? Wow, it's so many. Wow. That's kind of tough. I would probably say Aguirre because he was like the first NBA pick in 1981. So, and I saw him. You know, it's different watching someone on TV. I saw him in real time. You know, and to this day we still keep in contact. We have a great relationship.
Oh, that's awesome. Henry, who was your favorite player growing up?
It was Magic at first, you know. And then it went to Eddie Jones. You see where I'm at. Just could you kind of like speak to some of the things that you got from Aguirre's game that you took with you? You say you saw him come up. You was under him as a young guy. What are the kind of things from his game that you took with you?
So for me, it was just having the footwork on the post because I consider myself an inside and outside threat. I can put the ball on the floor. You know, my hands not as big as his were, but you know, I saw him do a lot of great things, and I was always emulating that. You know, along with my brother, you know, I think again, my brother and Eddie Johnson, they were two of the best shooters I've ever seen in my life. So I would always just shoot. You know, go to the playground by myself and shoot. I was shooting garbage cans, milk crates, bike rims, you know, you name it, I did it. You know, played in the alleys. So as you kind of got developing your game, how did you feel knowing that you had those kind of resources to move forward in your basketball career? Did it feel like something you had to live up to, or just something that you feel like you had in your back pocket? Actually, it was a challenge for me because I wanted to be better than they were. You know, so every day, nonstop, I was playing basketball. You know, just working on different things, footwork, moves, jump hooks, 3-pointers, putting it on the floor, 2-dribble pop, crossover, just trying to perfect my craft because I saw them put this work in. And they were out there sun up to sundown. In the summers, it's 100 degrees. And I just emulated that. I was just out all time of day, all time of night, 2, 3 in the morning. We still out there playing basketball. So
I remember those days, and you wouldn't be sore the next day. You could just get up and go again. It was the best.
Right.
The best.
Exactly.
So
great times.
Yeah, you played this storied high school. These great guys. So then did you go to JUCO for 2 years? And then
I went to junior college. So here's the story.
Okay.
So after I finished at Westinghouse, Kansas Jayhawks won a championship that year. They beat Oklahoma.
It was a Danny Manning year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at home.
Yeah.
I get a phone call. It's Larry Brown. I was offered a scholarship to go to Kansas on one condition that I passed the ACT. So I took the ACT about 4 or 5 times. And I think the last time I was like, I'm going to go to junior college, and become a better student, do what I need to do on the court, and then I'll let the chips fall where they may. So I go on a visit my sophomore year in junior college, and they looked at my transcripts. It was like they asked me, they say, why are you in junior college? I said, well, I didn't pass the ACT. They said, you did pass the ACT. And I was like, oh, wow. I was shocked. I was like, well, there's nothing we can do about it now. So
yeah. This is then did Coach Grauer start to recruit you then, or how did you get to SLU?
So my story was SLU. I followed them. I have family in St. Louis. They still live there. My dad, he's from St. Louis. So it was really easy. Once Coach Grauer started recruiting me, I pretty much shut all the other schools down. I said, this is the place I want to go. Just looking at the talent that they had, the opportunities, and then I would be, playing in front of family, and I'm not too far from Chicago. So mind you, I went to junior college in Paris, Texas. Never heard of Paris, Texas in my life. Never. So I get out, you go on a visit and, they have the party for you and you go play basketball and things like that. And I was like, okay, this might be a good place for me to go. I got there and I was like, I'm looking around like, where's the party? I was culture shocked. But again, I kind of toughened it out. Thanks to my high school coach, because I was calling him every day. Like, I got to get out of here. He just sat me down. He said, look, what are you missing? I said, my family and my friends. He said, listen to me. Your friends, they're going to be your friends regardless. Those guys that are not doing nothing, when you return 20 years from now, they're going to still be in the same place. And furthermore, if you come home, lose my number. Don't ever call me again. So I shut that down. So Coach Kendati pretty much changed my life for the better.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Coaches along the way when you're young make that life.
Yeah.
It's like I always tell when I'm, working with kids or working with training people at work, I'm like, you're kind of an object moving through space and somebody's going to barely touch you and you're going to go this way and it's going to change everything. So just, little moments like that. So you get to St. Louis University. They're coming off, having the Billiken GOAT, Anthony Bonner, right?
Oh,
just great man, amazing basketball player. So you get there. I was doing some research. Your first year, you guys go 19-13. You're a game away from making the NCAA tournament, right? You get to the championship game that year. So I'm sorry, I got to hype you up a little bit. So you finished in the top 10 of the conference in scoring. I think you're close to the top 10 in rebounding, steals. I will say, I'm sure you seem like a modest man. You're probably the best all-around player on the team that year. What was it like? You come in as a junior, Bonner and these guys are just leaving. How does that feel when you come in as kind of like one of the best players?
So actually, Bonner's to this day, he's still my big brother. So both him and Charlie Newberry, along with Roland Gray, when I signed with SLU, I was privileged and honored to meet them. And they kind of took me under their wings. And they just showed me, the Billiken way. So when I got there, Coach Aguirre, he challenged me every day. And I wanted to be coached hard. I really did. I needed that. He pushed me. The guys on the team, they were great. They welcomed me with open arms. And I just needed that opportunity. Once I got that opportunity, I always knew I could play. I was ready. Once I got the opportunity, I just fulfilled whatever they needed from me. The story behind that, we're the only team in the history of the school to beat Xavier twice. We swept them home and away. We play them in the MCC championship, and we lose. I was shattered because, deep down in my heart, I knew we were the better team, and I wanted to be the first player to come from junior college to take SLU to the NCAAs, but that didn't happen. There were other plans.
So that seems like that was one of your first big losses through your career. What are some of the things that you took away from that immediately, just from a basketball player and a man?
That the sun is going to rise tomorrow. You have to get up and continue being a student first, athlete second, get back in the gym, continue to work hard, and just be better than you were last year. So that kind of fueled my fire, and it pushed me that whole summer. But my summer was cut short because I sustained a knee injury where I ruptured my patella tendon and fractured my kneecap May 13th, which happened to be my coach's birthday. I got in town. I asked him I wanted to come up and, work out and play ball and things like that. So he was off work, but he opened the gym for me. So mind you, our gym at Westinghouse is like 30 feet below ground. It was like 90 degrees that day, so the condensation was on the floor. And as I was going up for a dunk, I went up and my knee buckled and I heard something pop. I got up and tried to take a step and I just fell. I said, well, somebody's hurt. And my coach said, whatever you do, just don't look down. Oh. So as my knee was rising up to my thigh, he just kind of held it. And I was transported to the hospital and I had surgery. And lo and behold, that news is spread like wildfire. It was in a Post-Dispatch. I was like, well, who told them? Coach was like, well, you got to hurry up and get back to school because we got to get you in therapy. We got trainers working with me around the clock. But through God's grace and his mercy, my hard work, I was able to play start of the season.
I mean, and not just play. So I have pull up here, Basketball Reference. I'm a nerd. I'm here every day. You finish 9th in the league in scoring, 8th in rebounds per game. You finish 9th in steals in the conference. You were all over every single leaderboard that year. So, I mean, where did that, I guess it's from your brother, from the guys you grew up with, your family, that work ethic where it's like, no, I'm going to come back. Where did you get that from?
I would have to say I got that from my parents. My mom and dad were educators. I come from a 2-parent household, and I just saw them work to provide for 5 kids, with me being a middle child. So, I saw this, and I was like, okay, no one's going to outwork me. Mm-hmm. And to this day, that's a motto that I keep.
It definitely seemed like a model that you carried throughout the next phase of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Kind of talk to us about the transition from basketball to your next phase.
Okay. So after I left SLU, I went and played in Costa Rica professional for a year, and I just kind of felt like I had a higher calling. So when I returned, my high school coach was like, hey, what do you think about getting into coaching? And I was like, I don't know. I'm still trying to play. So then he was like, okay, that plan don't work out, you just come coach. I got into coaching. I started giving back. You know, I'm a big believer in throwing the rope back, bringing other people along, and just, you know, paying it forward. So I started as a substitute teacher. I was teaching a special ed class, EBD, emotional disability students, and I got into a program called Teachers for Chicago, and they helped me get my master's in special ed. But the deal was, it's free, but you're going to have to work in the Chicago public school system, which I didn't have a problem with that, you know. So I did that, and you know, that started me on my educational journey.
So when you started working with the kids in Chicago, did you see some of the attitudes and mentalities that you had with you coming to the next phase in sports and getting through life? Or was there, talk to me about the kind of connection you made early into that career?
So I wasn't too far removed from them. You know, I was that kid, you know, and I could see it. I could relate to them, and I could pour into them. You know, we would talk about, you know, real life scenarios, as well as the importance of using basketball as a vehicle and not putting all your eggs in one basket. You know, I was big on that. You know, I'm going to use this to get what I need to be successful in life and beyond.
And you said, you know, we talked about Westinghouse High School again. I'm sorry, I just have to go back. So Eddie Johnson, Mark Aguirre, and then I remember a guy that I loved when I was in high school, Keywan Garris. He went there as well.
I raised him.
Ah,
Yes, he did.
man,
Yes, he
he
did.
could hoop. I loved watching him play.
Hey, I've been with Q1 ever since he was 14 years old. So, you know, at one point, he was just a driver. And I saw that. I said, you know something? Every year you come back, you have to show them something different. So I was like, this whole summer, we just working on jump shot. And he got it. You know, he, at Illinois, everybody asked him, who helped you with your shot? He's like, Q. Q taught me how to shoot.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, I was like, wow, okay, well, somebody's listening. You know, but he was a tireless worker. As my coach would say, he never lost a sprint. He always finished first. Suicides, you name it, he always finished first. He was that competitive.
So we're talking about great players. Henry and I we're NBA just fanatics, right? So,
Yes.
I mean, you're 6'5". You're a lefty?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. I was waiting for you to mention Chris Mullin as a hero, but I didn't. I was like, oh, is there another? I've never seen a lefty with a bad jump shot. I've seen plenty of righties with one, but I've never seen I'm just like, every lefty, I'm like, it's just so smooth. So
Shoot the ball.
that's right. So you're playing in college, you know, highest level of college, D1. So some of the guys you played against, I sent this over to you because I was
saw that list.
I mean, so guys that you would probably have had to lock up around your size. I'm thinking Harold Miner, Nick Van Exel, and then one of me and Henry's all-time favorite, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, you're a great ball player too. So when these guys step on the court, like, what's that like when you're matching your talent against people you know that are that good?
It's the moment, because you read about these guys and you can't wait. You can't wait to play against them. Like Nick Van Exel, we go back junior college days because he played at Trinity Valley and I was at Paris and we were in the same conference. So Nick's he's a real good friend of mine. But even like Brian Grant, Aaron Williams, he resides here. So we will see each other and I always tell him, no, y'all got swept. He was like, yeah, but we beat y'all to go to the tournament. I'm like, go ahead on. So, but yeah, Brian Grant, every time when he was in the NBA, every time they would come play the Bulls, he would ask, like Randy Brown's one of my closest friends. He would always ask Randy Brown, what is Quitman Dillard doing? So
out of all the matchups, all of your matchups, what is a two-part question? One, what's your favorite matchup? that you really got up for? And two, what was that one matchup where you like, man, if I knew this about you then, I would have had you in the bag.
I would have to say Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway. And just looking at this list, oof. And Harold Miner.
Another lefty, right? Harold Miner,
Yeah.
another lefty? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, and just those two especially. Nick Van Exel, that's one of me and Henry's favorite. We will talk about him. Not just, I've never saw anyone who could stay in front of him.
No.
It's like,
Really?
and then, but, you know, Harold Miner, Penny Hardaway, just that the athleticism of those three. How much fun is that? Because we know a lot of people talk about basketball how hard it is, but I mean, just playing how much fun is it when you're out there like, okay, let's see what you got, boy. Like, let's do this.
Hey, it's breathtaking. You know, it's like I wish I could, as they say, turn back the clock and freeze it in time. It's unbelievable. And then, you know, you tell your kids and, you know, you show them the games and they'd be like, that's you. And he plays in it. That's Penny Hardaway. And, you know, when Penny was in the pros, he would come up to Westinghouse and visit me while I'm coaching and talk to the kids like, man, y'all coach, he was bad. I'm like, come on, man. You got all the money. How am I bad? Yeah, I'm bad. I'm so bad that I'm coaching. So, and I look now, he's coaching. So, yeah, but they're all great guys. But
Yeah, that me and Will go way back, and one of the very first things we even started talking about it was how cold blooded the 1998 version of Nick Van Exel was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get into my beats with Dale Harris, you know what I'm saying, and all this, and get into all that. But but knowing that that's one of your matchups, so you're like, hey man, once the league gets a hold of this guy, there's gonna be a problem. Like when was the moment you knew like that dude is over there?
in junior college, I was a sophomore. He was a freshman. So mind you, John Barry played with me in junior college.
Really?
Yes. I think Rick Barry was at the game and Nick Van Exel destroyed him. I'm like, hey, can you guard this guy or what? I'm like, I'm taking care of everything else, but can you guard this guy? He tried to fight him. I'm like, no, don't, you're not touching him. You know, this is my friend. You know, so.
Yeah, they got to
He
show
was
him
amazing.
what
He was amazing. He was amazing in junior college.
It was always just boom, boom, and he's gone. It wasn't
Gone.
today like I watch guys, they have amazing handles, but it's 30 dribbles to beat by somebody. Nick Van Exel, it's 3 dribbles and he's gone. And you're just like, I didn't even have time to do anything.
So what was funny, you know, our junior college coach, Sean Scallon, he was a Kansas guru. He graduated from there. He would do the scouting report, and he had all these names on the board, and he was like, Nicky Van Exel. And I'm like, who is this dude? Van Exel? I've never heard of a last name, Van Exel. And I'm like, I knew who he was when the game was over. I was like, man, you got it.
So you're playing at SLU, what is there a game or two where you're like, that was my masterpiece, like Quitman Dillard's on-court masterpiece? Which would those, if they're 1 or 2 or 3, where you're just like, yeah, that was everything that night?
I would say Xavier, when we played them in this last game of the season, we beat them by at least 20-some points. I think I had like 24 points, 8 rebounds, couple steals, couple assists. And in the MCC tournament, we beat Loyola to go to the championship. I had 28 and 10 that game. And my senior year, playing against Penny Hardaway, we lost in double overtime at the not the Kill Center, but
What was it called?
the old Checker Dome. The old Checker Dome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
The arena. So we lost to them in double overtime. I think I had like 24. So a lot of great memories.
Do you keep up with the game now?
I still play.
Okay, great.
I'm in the 50 and over leagues. You know, we travel. So
oh, you try really?
yeah, Kiwan's on my team. And
That's not fair.
the
That's
running
not
joke
fair.
is y'all only passed to each other because y'all went to Westinghouse.
So, my question is, what is your overall feeling of the game now? Something we need to work on, something you don't
It's
like?
different. It's different. It's more. It favors Europeans, and everything's about the 3-point shot. The big guy is obsolete now. You know, the Shaqs of the world. There's no place for them in this game. But it's in a great place. I'm more of a college fan
Okay.
as opposed to an NBA fan because it's genuine. It's genuine. They're striving. They're playing hard, and they're trying to better themselves. But now with this NIL money, I wish I was back in college.
That was my question. That was my
Hey.
next question. How do you feel about the NIL and its effects, and negative and positive?
Well, God bless them. You know, it's well deserved, long overdue. Again, I wish I can go back in time. I'd be rich right about now. But hey, life is life. You know, I'm blessed. I'm healthy, and God is the greatest.
So 2 more things before we let you go. Because when I was 13, I don't care what you told me. I would have told you that Erwin Claggett's the greatest basketball player that ever lived. Like, I fell in love with those Charlie Spoonhour teams. So your senior year, it's him and Highmark their freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see in practice or anything like, okay, these 2 kids are going to be good? What was your impression of them as you're the senior, they're coming in? What was that like?
Both my little brothers, students of the game. They were hard workers. Always paid attention to detail, and they wanted to be good. You could just see it. They wanted to be good, and I'm a extract good. They wanted to be great because both of them are SLU legends. They're in the top 5 or 6 in scoring, with Clag being second. You know, but I saw it in Clag. Just he had it. He could jump. He can get he could cross over. He gets off the floor, jump shot. Same with Scott. But, you know, Clag was a guy.
That's awesome. And then, so obviously, I mean, you love basketball. We all do. Your passion now, educating, helping kids. So anyone out there, I know we have a lot of NBA fans, a lot of guys our age. So I coach my daughter's kindergarten team. You know, we got a little better this year. So if anyone out there here is listening, like, they're helping young people right now through the game of basketball, is there any wisdom you can give them to walk away with how to treat these kids and how to take care of them?
Well, for me, it would be always focus on fundamentals and give them a rationale of why we're doing this. Because everyone wants to go out there and shoot the 3 ball. Let's get the fundamentals down first. Let's start inside, you know, and work our way out. But it's about fundamentals. It's about technique. It's about work ethic. Because without the work ethic, you know, nothing is going to amount of anything. But that's what I would do, and always be a great listener and a great teammate. Because that's important. No one wants to play with a person that they don't like.
I have one more question before we
Come
get
on.
out of here. Let's be real quick, and we ask everybody that we possibly can on this show. If you have any affiliation with basketball whatsoever, any idea? It's the last question.
Yes.
Why doesn't St. Louis have an NBA basketball team?
That's a great question. That's a great town for it. They actually need one. They don't have a football team anymore. You know, the Rams packed up and moved. So that would be awesome if they had an NBA team in that city.
We both feel like we can sustain one. We definitely do. We definitely do.
And I always come back. St. Louis is like my second home. Again, I have a lot of friends, former teammates, and family there. So, you know, I'll be in town in a couple of weeks for the alumni weekend, the 29th and the 30th. So, yeah,
okay, maybe we'll be down there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Get together, go get some wings and you know.
Now you're speaking our language. Okay.
For real.
Off the rip. I'll bring some of the guys with me so we can just, chop it up.
There we go. Dr. Dillard, sir, thank you so much for doing this. It's a treat for us. Just your joy for teaching kids in the game is so evident. That's what Henry and I love. Just there's too many cynical people about the game, and you just seem full of love for it. So thank you so much for doing this. And we look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
But,
now we're Westinghouse fans.
All my friends call me Q, so I'm Q to you guys.
Well,
yes.
Thank you, Q. It was a pleasure meeting you, bro. Absolutely.
Same here.
Thank you, sir.
All right, y'all stay blessed.
Thank you.
Hoops on scoops, boy.